And we are recording. Welcome back.
This is going to be episode 6 at the Woodshed. We've got a lot of, we got some tricks up our sleeves tonight. I mean, I don't even know what all Doc has planned, but I know he's got tricks up his sleeve.
It's we're gonna talk. I can't believe
the board is full.
It's wow.
A lot has happened.
We're gonna have a phone call. We're gonna try to do a phone call interview. We're gonna see how that works.
Oh, you know what? I should get the music going to actually start the cast.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're gonna go with something.
Let's start the show. We're gonna do it every time like this. Here we go.
No, something different. It's a spoiler.
It's nothing. What is that?
Just wait for it. A lot of people already know what it is.
That's right.
You're live at the Woodshed.
Welcome. And we appreciate you
Live
watching.
at the Woodshed.
We are hanging out, having a good time.
Episode 6.
We're definitely not trying to sell you anything yet. We don't have a sponsor. So we're just going to keep doing this until somebody wants us. Because I know you all want us. Thanks for watching, listening. We're going to try to be on iTunes soon. We're on Ustream now. We are...
You can tweet us.
Twitter. And Facebook.
Well, you can go to @thewoodshed_ on Twitter.
Man.
Say hello. You can say, hey, I want to sponsor you.
Right.
I would like to provide you all with transportation, hotel stay, and buffet
Right.
in Maui. And the only thing you have to do is use my product. We'd be happy to. As
What
long
product
as
is that?
Well, anything that doesn't suck and would be useful.
So I have all kinds of products like that I've purchased over the years.
No kidding.
And I probably heard an advertisement for it.
I mean, you know what else we could do is jingles.
Like a Gatorade commercial? Gatorade is... Do you remember that?
You know what I heard about? I heard there was a report where people were drinking so much Gatorade, you know, these high-profile athletes, and not your average, you know, after practice have a Gatorade, but, you know, drinking it for every meal and just really pounding the powders and the chews and everything.
Yeah.
They were having some adverse effects from that.
Wow.
Just overly just blowing their system with electrolytes.
Like, okay, I've heard of bad things that happen into people.
Right.
From Red Bull.
Oh, I've heard you can if you drink a lot of that. There's been cases of people getting.
Yeah, a lot of the energy drinks are really, really bad.
I think it just races your heart so much that, you know, sometimes you just get that feeling even when you haven't been drinking the Red Bull.
Right.
And then people who haven't, they're like, man, I don't even have that. I haven't even drank a Red Bull today. Well, you know, you have had Red Bulls every day for the past week, and your heart still thinks, well, I think maybe we'll just go into that same motion. And then you start freaking out because this is usually what your heart's doing, but you have had 3 Red Bull and vodkas, and you don't notice it because you have the depressive effects of the alcohol in your system. So, I mean, you got to be careful with that. People got to know your limit. Ease into things.
I don't know my limit. I don't know, like, okay, maybe I do, because...
Oh, you know your limit. If you didn't know your limit, you would make an ass out of yourself every
yeah,
time
if
you
I
went out.
drank a lot. See, that's the thing. That's why I don't drink much.
If you don't know your limit, then you're always gonna make an ass out of yourself, unless you just don't have any more money to buy booze. But then you're probably still gonna make an ass out of yourself if you don't know your limit.
Right.
If you're out there, you know, because you start having a couple beers, then all of a sudden you want to get a shot. I mean, you know this guy. You've worked in the restaurant industry before, probably as a waiter and a bartender, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Waiter, bartender, manager.
Manager. I started in the kitchen.
Oh, I think a bug just flew in my eye. We shouldn't have. Well, we are in a woodshed.
That's kind of an odd transition too. Like when you're working in a restaurant and you're working in the kitchen,
right?
And then somebody goes, "You should be out front talking to people."
I know.
It was weird.
It
was kind of an epiphany moment.
had that same experience, and you don't want to leave that kitchen.
No.
You never.
I was fine frying chips.
Hey, to those of you out there, if you're working in a restaurant and you are, let's say you're banging one of the hotter waitresses, never leave that kitchen to go out on the floor and wait tables or bartend. You stay in that kitchen and you be the cool cook, because there's one in every restaurant.
Oh, yeah. And then the rest are a bunch of dicks, a bunch of assholes.
Bunch of assholes.
And a bunch of pussies.
They hate servers. If you're in the kitchen, you usually hate, unless the servers are all chicks, because there are a lot of places like that where all the the people in the kitchen. But there's a lot of other places where, you got to mix.
Right.
Male and female kitchen back there. Not that there's not women that can't sling hash back there in a restaurant. I used to work with this lady, Ann, and Ann could sling it back there.
Oh, yeah. She could tear it up.
Mm-hmm.
But she was concentrating on making sure that she put out good food as opposed to cultivating relationships with her coworkers.
Right.
And,
Well, she didn't have a lot to work with.
Well, she was great at being the cook. She
awesome. Damn well better.
That's great.
Billy Mitchell.
Welcome back to the Woodshed, episode 6. Can you believe we've done 6 episodes now?
It feels like...
You know what I found out yesterday?
Tell me.
I asked you a question, then interrupted you. I got to stop doing that.
I enjoy it. Continue. We'll get to both of them.
You know what I looked at?
We still got to get back to Blu-ray players.
If you tally up all the videos that we have,
yes,
and you watch them,
right,
we have 500 views.
So let me ask you this question.
More. We have more now.
Let me ask this question.
On YouTube. We go to our YouTube channel. Hold on.
Okay.
The YouTube channel is The Woodshed Podcast. So if you go to YouTube search bar, it's The Woodshed Podcast.
Oh, and thank you, YouTube, for being still free.
All one word.
Yeah. The Woodshed Podcast. We're going to pop up.
And Ustream.
And Ustream
is the-wood-shed. But if you go to the search bar there and type in The Woodshed, guess what?
It's not going to come up.
It will come up. There you are.
It will?
Yeah.
That's why you are the head engineer and madman.
No, it's just the way the internet works.
That's how well Ustream
but
is.
You handle the Twitter. So when people tweet the show,
tweet at the Woodshed
it's
_. It's
actually going to go to you.
It's going to go to Billy Mitchell, Fun Spot, New Hampshire.
Like, you don't have a publicist. What do you need a publicist for?
I've heard drunks
to answer your tweets
before bouncing around the bar saying, "Call my publicist."
Right, and that's the beauty of Twitter. Like LeBron James has his Twitter account on his phone.
The king.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about Twitter, man. Like all these celebrities that have all these different Twitter pages.
Onan has been on Twitter. He's been riding this horse longer than most people, and every now and then he will tweet at celebrities, and they will tweet him back. And I don't mean like your local weatherman. I mean like actual celebrities.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying he's tweeting back and forth with, Lindsay Lohan. I'm not saying he isn't. But I'm just saying that, if you come up with some clever shit and send it to the right person, that person may be having eggs that morning, check their Twitter, laugh at what you tweeted, and send you something back. That is great. Thank you, Twitter.
It could possibly happen. That's the whole nature of it. That's what makes it cool.
Now, I'm not saying that you should send every celebrity a tweet to see if they will tweet back.
Definitely don't be mean. You hear all these stories about people just being assholes to really cool
just
people,
to see if they
possibly cool people. I don't know. Maybe some celebrities deserve it.
I'm sure they are. Just to see if they can get a response. It's like, well, it didn't work with cookies, so I'm going to run up and, throw rocks at your house. Verbally. Verbal rocks. Man. It's because a lot of people are assholes. It's
true.
It's true.
A lot of people are.
There's a lot of people. So, you're going to have your assholes there.
Oh, look. We have a caller. Can we go ahead and take the call?
Take the call.
This guy's not an asshole. We should talk to him.
I'll be the judge of that.
What's up? You're on the Woodshed. What's up?
What's going on, fellas?
What are you doing, man?
A ukulele banjo. Are you mic'd up?
Are you recording the ukulele banjo?
I'm not recording it. I'm just trying to tune it for a friend.
Well, you definitely need to take your phone off speaker and turn your volume all the way up, because we are recording live from the Blue Dolphin Studios in a woodshed, and frankly, your audio sucks.
It's okay, man. I'm glad you called.
Hang on. Let's see if we're making adjustments. But before, could you hear him at all? Do you think anybody could hear that call? Maybe now. Let's try it again now.
You can hear us, right?
I can hear y'all.
Oh, that's better. That's a little better now. That's a little better. Now, are you where were you? We have the Ghoul here, ladies and gentlemen. Also,
What's up, Elliot?
Elliot. How are you, buddy?
Yo.
You're live in the woodshed.
I'm not doing bad.
Well, you're in and out. It sounds like that you're in a hurricane, like you're reporting live from Louisiana.
All right, can you hear us now?
I can hear y'all.
That's better. Keep coming up with that. Cannot come up with that anymore. Well, let's go with that. I'm gonna continue on. Elliot, we're really glad to have you here via communications issues we're having. We're going to struggle right through it. It sounds like you're coming to us live from the NOLA. How are you tonight, sir?
I took my longboard out, headed to a friend's house, had a few beers, headed out.
Oh, how was that?
You longboard? I thought you had a regular skateboard.
Trying to enjoy this night as much as possible.
Oh, by the way, we can hear you much better now, and I'd like to welcome you to the woodshed.
Yeah, we're glad you called in, man. We were going to call you here shortly anyway. We had some trouble. We ran through a test and it screwed up, so we started the show.
Yeah, so thanks for calling in. Continue on.
You weren't watching on Ustream, were you?
I was not.
Okay, so start off. You went out on your longboard. Start there.
Well, friends kind of hung out at the house, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go over here and hang out." Like, all right, well, I'll just grab my longboard and just kind of cruise on down. And so I'm down here on Davis Street hanging out, and we're playing some music with some ukuleles and some guitars, and just kind of kicking it, relaxing, having some fun.
Huh? Anything? You all do any covers with the ukulele and the guitars that I would know? I mean, any Don Ho or anything? Tiny Bubbles, anything like that?
No. We're strictly original music. Just hanging out, having a good time, and jamming together with some good music and very relaxed.
Awesome.
Music. Like,
I mean,
there's no covers, nothing like that. Just kind of, oh, what are you playing? I'm gonna catch along with it.
What if I told everybody that you did know Tiny Bubbles and you don't realize how many Don Ho fans there are, and I threw that out there, and another 25 or 50 people show up now?
Well, if you did that and they show up, and then I'll just have to disappoint them with my amazing drum skills, and it'll be the weekend.
Well, you should plan sometime to have us down, and we will go live from a remote there, and maybe we can get something set up.
Are you there?
That could be that could be possible. That could be arranged.
How are you, sir? Tell us about us. Well, I mean, tell us what's been going on.
If you could come play the drums, that would be sweet.
Now, if I can play the drums on online like that, I'm gonna need some mics and set it up and do it right.
Well,
and
yeah.
Be a little while.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, that, with your skepticism, because you are calling into a woodshed.
Right, and
but
it's hard to do a podcast from a woodshed.
Right, I mean, that's true. I mean, but we've seen the wheel. We understand, how water goes down the drain differently in Australia than it does here. I mean, we understand what a microphone is, and we have several of those. So, what we're saying is we'd like you to come up. We will need you to bring your electric drums, though.
Well, I could bring electric kit that I just sold to my friend and borrow it for a couple nights.
No, don't borrow it. You steal that shit back.
Oh, I can't steal it. Can't steal it.
Well, then he thinks it's stolen, right? You come up here, you do the Woodshed podcast. You take it back to him. You tell him what a good friend you are. You found it at the local swap meet, flea market, what have you, local musician swap.
Well, then that's the story. We could do that. We could go to the swap meet, get a electric kit, and set it up, and I could play for you all day.
Yeah, you'd make his day too, because he got his kit back. You thought I'll never see that again. How much you charge him, that's between you and your Lord. I mean, I'm not saying. I'm just giving you ideas. Actually, you shouldn't really do any of the ideas that I throw out there, on the Woodshed podcast. That's a disclaimer.
Well, I should and I shouldn't. I do charge quite a lot to play drums, live for everybody out there, but cause it's quite good when I play. Just to let you know, it is quite good.
Oh, well, I mean, I expect nothing but the best. I mean, your reputation precedes you. I mean, you've been playing live now for several years. You've played in several different bands. I've seen you several times in,
exactly.
Different cities. I mean, you've recorded some stuff. I mean, you're a legitimate musician.
Absolutely. I wouldn't call you anything less.
No, I would say you're...
How many instruments do you know how to play? Like, if you had to sit down and tally them all up.
See, drums, guitar, bass guitar, banjo, ukulele, mandolin.
Wow.
We had the Wad on last week, and he brought his mandolin.
Yeah, and he played a little ditty for us, and we'd kind of like, that to be kind of the theme song, but if we could set it up for a whole session, that'd be awesome.
You know what I'd like to incorporate into the show?
What? What are we going to throw in here? I mean, look at this.
A stand-up bass. A stand-up bass in the background underneath the on-air sun. And then every once in a while we could just go back there and play stand-up bass.
You got a stand-up bass just sitting there waiting for me to come over and play it?
No, I want you to bring one.
Oh, that might be a little difficult. I mean, not that I can't play it, but I can maybe find one.
Right.
This would be a great opportunity for someone to send us a message on Facebook to check Craigslist, because somebody has, or tweet us that somebody has a stand-up bass that they just want to get rid of. And we would be willing to trade, 3 Woodshed podcast T-shirts for that, maybe? Are the T-shirts are the T-shirts in?
No, they're not ready yet.
Okay. We do have some T-shirts coming. They're in the works, bitches. And the price is going to be cheap. It's so cheap you can't even pass it up. We're not even making profit off you bitches too much.
What kind of dig are y'all running here?
What?
What kind of dig y'all running here? You don't even have T-shirts ready yet?
Oh, no.
They're in the works.
They're in the works.
We have plans for T-shirts.
You want a caliber player like myself, come over there and make you a song for an intro, and you don't even have T-shirts ready? What am I supposed to do here, guys? Come on.
We still have that hoodie. We can give him the hoodie.
Can we bribe you with alcohol?
Now, that might be a possibility.
There we go. Yes, sir.
What about good conversation? Man, that was a long pause. Can I get a little applause there for good conversation, just to kind of bring us back? Thank you very much. I mean, that's...
It was a long pause. It was dramatic.
It was a dramatic pause.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, since I got you live here, I'm going to...
All right.
And we're kind of on the music, talk. All right, here's what I stumbled upon today, and I'm just throwing this out there. Iron Maiden.
What are you throwing out there?
Iron Maiden is on their Made in England tour 2013. I looked at the dates. Would you all be willing, Anybody can tweet that wants to get in. I'm trying to throw it together. We fly to Las Vegas. We see Iron Maiden with Megadeth at the Mandalay Bay Casino. I think it is on a Thursday. So we could all fly out Thursday, only miss 2 days' work. Come back, be ready to go. Mandalay Bay Casino. Doc, you're laughing at it.
Well,
is it?
I only have one question. Are they going to play? If they play a ukulele in their show and do a ukulele solo, I'm there.
I bet there'll be a 50-foot Eddie walking around. I bet they play Number of the Beast.
No.
I bet they play Lost Somewhere in Time.
Do you listen to Iron Maiden, Elliot?
Yes.
I do not on a daily or weekly basis. I listen to Iron Maiden about as much as I listen to Dio. When it comes on, I'm like, oh yeah, Iron Maiden, cool. Dio, cool. But I don't think I have either one on my iPod. But I don't have space.
See, I didn't know you listened to that, Elliot. I mean, I know you like Tom Waits a lot, and I really do too. But name an Iron Maiden album for me.
Now that I can't do. I have listened to. I mean, I enjoy.
See, I don't know any of them.
I enjoy Megadeth. I enjoy. I'll even go old school with some COC, Corrosion Conformity.
See, I don't even know who that is. No idea who that is.
You don't even know who that is.
No idea.
Right. Right.
That's some old school. That's like back in the Pantera days when Pantera was so hot before Dimebag even thought about going to a different band because, lead singer, whatever his name is, before he had like 20 different bands.
Now tell me, what was the what happened to Pantera? What was the downfall of that?
The lead singer pretty much just kind of went rogue and like, I want this band, I want this band, I want this band, and he was like, I'm just gonna like do whatever I want to, and then Dimebag Darrell was like, well, I'm gonna stay with Pantera for a while, and hell, was that the band that he stayed with that was like a Pantera ripoff.
I never really knew what happened to Pantera because they were pretty, commercialized.
Well, didn't Dimebag Darrell get shot?
He shot himself or something? Or he got shot on stage?
He got shot on stage.
But that didn't kill him, did it?
It
did kill him?
Yeah,
he's
dead.
He did.
He's been dead for quite a few years. Y'all pull that up on the internet and see when it actually happened. But I think it's been about 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah, I think I knew that he was dead, and I think I knew there was a story behind it. But I thought there was more to that, like a real cool story or something behind like what happened. It was just something random, like somebody just shot him on stage. Nothing behind it. Just
I think it was a huge Pantera fan that was like, I'm sick and tired of y'all playing this bullshit, and I want Pantera back together, and it's not going to happen, so I'm just going to kill Dimebag Darrell to make sure it doesn't happen. I don't know, something like that.
That's pretty damn weak. Not the story, just the action.
Right.
No, I mean both.
That's a shame.
That is a shame. Pantera was
tragedy everywhere.
All right. Speaking of tragedy, Elliot, what's your take on what's going on up in Boston? What are you hearing?
Say it again.
What's your take on what's going on up in Boston with
with the Boston Marathon bombing and whatnot?
Yeah, everything that's going on up there. The chase, the manhunt.
My take on that is the CIA arranged that.
Oh, I don't think so.
Really? No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you saw the pictures of all those guys in Navy SEAL hats and black shirts and the khakis and the boots. I don't think so. I think they were all calm when all the bombs went off.
That's because they're badasses.
Okay, well, did you hear? I heard earlier today that one of the things that was happening was that the two guys that they chased and killed one of them, and the other one's younger, and he's injured real bad in the hospital, and his lawyers are making him remain silent and all this. He's got a judge looking after something. It's weird, but what's happening is before they were trying to flee the city, they took a hostage, and one of them,
I heard
the hostage got away, and that's who tipped them off as to where they were headed. and where, you know, what had happened, and that's how they got caught or something like that. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what I heard on the radio earlier today.
See, I heard that they let that hostage go because he was not an American. And, like, he took them to 3 different ATMs, and the first time they put in the wrong code, the second time they got $800, the third time it wouldn't work because he exceeded his limit or something like that. Somehow they got $800 on 3 trips, and they let him go. And they were supposedly, now it's came out that they were headed to New York City. And you think these guys are CIA? That's what you're saying? I don't see
Yeah,
it.
I do.
But aren't they? I don't think so. They're from.
Are you there?
I think we may have lost communications. Are you there, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, Elliot. We thought we'd lost you there for a second.
We lost you. You there?
No, no, I'm here. I'm giving advice on the ukulele to my buddy.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad I have your full fucking attention.
That's what I do. I talk about CIA stuff and I talk about ukulele stuff all at the same time. I'm diversified.
Well,
diversified.
I'm diversified.
Is that a word?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's a word. I made it up. It's a word, diversified.
Let me just say that your second statement gives much credibility to your previous statement.
That's wonderful.
Diversified.
Well, you're diversified is what you're saying? You are multitasking. You are managing multiple situations at once.
Exactly.
All right, let me ask you a question.
All right.
What was the last good show you went to? Somewhere where you actually paid a ticket or
outdoor concert, indoor concert. What was
something.
the best one you went to?
Yeah. What I missed?
The back one I went to?
Not the last one you went to, but the best one most recently.
You know, one that kicked ass.
Oh, the best one.
Yeah, one that kicked ass.
Just recently, something,
The best one I went to was the same weekend, and I'm not sure which one was better. It was between Coheed and Cambria and Primus.
Same weekend.
It's a very different weekend. It was Memphis in May. We were having fun. We were all outside. We were getting drunk. We were smoking drugs, having fun, just all kinds of things. And but
your third statement
me,
is given so much more credibility to your CIA statement. We had you there for a minute.
Well, you know what, though? It sounds like he had a good time.
I'll keep laughing. I'll keep talking.
It sounds like you had a good time either way.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Yeah, it sounds like
I had a great time. It was the same weekend. I just can't remember which show was better because I can't
Primus,
compare them
did they play?
Well, Primus is awesome, but was it what album stuff did they play?
They play Tommy the Cat. They play Winona's Big Brown Beaver.
The Primus show was amazing because they played. They just jammed for like 15 minutes while I stared at Heat Lightning and danced to the Heat Lightning and pretty much just danced.
Was the Heat Lightning the opening band?
No, Heat Lightning, it's in lightning from the sky because of the heat and the music.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Go ahead.
And so we danced to that while Primus just jammed for like 15 minutes.
Right.
And so that was amazing itself. But I also saw Coheed and Cambria, which just amazing musicians, just unbelievable.
I mean, what's their hits? What would I know?
Oh, you don't know who Coheed and Cambria is?
No, I have no idea. I could horse shit you, and since I am in a woodshed and there is some horse shit down here, and quickly Google it while I'm talking to you, but I'm not going to do that to you because you're a friend of mine, and I don't want to do that.
Well, no, you go ahead and Google that shit. Hell, YouTube that shit while I'm talking to you about Coheed and Cambria because I
don't know about you just giving out orders, but go ahead and finish your statement.
I'm giving out orders right now.
I mean, this is a demanding guy. I mean, he's making...
What happened? I'm going to call in, I got to get my opinions out there,
I understand.
What happened?
I understand.
Well, so what were you saying? What did they play?
I mean, what's their... anything I would know? What's their story?
Coheed just played and just normal stuff they play, and as I was just dancing and jamming and bumping shoulders and mosh pitting with everybody else that was around. It was just a fun time. Like that's the whole story. Like it was just, I don't know which time was funner. It was
funner.
Whether it was
which glow sticks or no glow sticks. That's what I'm going to ask you right now.
I'm making up words today. Y'all know this.
No. Did you
glow sticks or no glow sticks?
What kind of party was it? Like what kind of people were there? Was it a bunch of like crazy goths, or was it a bunch of like glow stick hip? What do you call them?
What do you call them? Dirty sons of.
You know what I'm saying?
Emo kids?
Yeah. What is it?
Emo.
Did you just fucking say
there were quite a few different kids there. There were emo kids. There were hippies. There were.
Why aren't you answering my question about the fucking glow sticks? Were there or were there not glow sticks?
Oh, god damn, there were glow sticks.
There were.
They were everywhere.
They were everywhere, weren't they? I knew it. I knew it.
It was great.
So that's why you said it was so different from Promise. I got you now.
Yeah. As according to this, Coheed and Cambria is an American rock band from Nyack, New York, formed in 1995. The group's music incorporates aspects of progressive rock, punk rock, pop, and post-hardcore. What's post-hardcore, Elliot?
Punk rock and pop and
post-hardcore.
No, post-hardcore.
Post-hardcore.
Post-hardcore, it's the dulled-down version of hardcore music that's pretty cynical, but doesn't have that real hardcore edge that, like, we're used to.
Right.
Right.
They've toned it down a little bit so they can sell more.
Yeah.
Broader appeal.
Sell more albums.
Well,
that was what Wikipedia said on it, so that's what they compared them to. It says they do a lot of concept albums.
Concept album. What's the last good concept album that came out? Has there been a concept album?
Rage Against the Machine, Evil Empire.
No, that was good. That was real good. Before that, I mean...
Elliot, are you still with us, buddy?
I'm still with you.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show, man. We're gonna sign off with you, and thanks. Well, you got to come up and do the show with us actually in the studio. We've got an empty spot right here on the seat.
It's got your name on it, buddy.
Right, just waiting for you.
Are y'all still gonna do the show for a little bit, or y'all?
Well, yeah. We've got a couple of things we're gonna talk about, but yeah, thanks for.
Right.
We're glad to have you on, and we're definitely gonna have you again.
It's been a pleasure, sir. It's really been nice to speak with you and get your musical opinions. It's
And this is all recorded.
How many instruments did you say you play again? What are you up to? 10 these days?
About 5 or 6.
Still, that's amazing.
So that's more fingers than you have on your left hand. Think about that, folks.
All right. Hey,
yeah.
I'm gonna call back in here in about 2 minutes.
All right. 2 minutes, huh?
We have many things to talk about. Call back
Okay. All right.
No.
All right. We'll see in a bit.
All right. Bye, Elliot. Thanks for being on the show, man.
Guys.
All right, Elliot.
Elliot Ghoul, ladies and gentlemen.
Elliot Ghoul. What do you give him? 2 minutes? 2.5? 3 minutes?
I give him maybe a minute and a half, and then he'll call back, and then I won't answer, and he'll be mad.
Oh, that's how you're gonna play it. What if he leaves nasty, messages on the message
Well, then
board?
we can listen to him.
He could tweet nasty things at us at @thewoodshed_.
Right.
You know what?
I don't know. We'll see. What are we? Yeah, I mean, that's he's such a funny guy. He's definitely got a lot to say, and that's what I love about him. He's a passionate guy. He's he's definitely the.
I can't wait to get him in the studio.
He's my brother, man. He's my other little brother. He's part of the family. He's a fucking cool guy.
Well, I mean, I've known him for a while. I mean, he's been to the lake. Been down there camping for a weekend. You go camping with somebody for a weekend, you really learn a lot about that person.
Right.
By the end of the weekend, you know who you would want to spend the next 4 days with. Or you're like pulling out and you're like, man, I'm fucking glad I'm not going home with that son of a bitch. I'm glad it's Sunday evening.
Well, Yeah, and that's what's cool about him is you can hang out with him day in and day out for months and not get tired of him because he's funny.
I agree. Can't wait to get him in here. It was great talking to him. Just even if we just.
So
had him
you
over
got
the
an
phone.
empty spot tonight. That's why we have to use a phone call. Look at that spot over there.
Does it feel lonely to you?
I don't know. Is there somebody sitting there? Like, is there a ghost there? Smack the ghost if it's sitting there.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna give a shout out on Ustream, and I'm gonna tweet, and whoever wants to tweet back, I may give out the Woodshed telephone number for a call in.
I don't know.
But I'm gonna send it out as a text to you. You're gonna have to tweet, and then I'm gonna have to accept that, and then I will text you the Woodshed telephone number, and then you can call in, and you can call in live.
No.
Do you think it's too soon?
Too soon. I think we should try something else out first.
Are you worried that somebody's going to show up here?
Yeah, actually. Yeah. You know, they'll
we
crash.
We got
they'll
you on
crash the show.
We got you on the track.
Are we expected to have a show crasher tonight?
We were supposed to maybe have Onan come out about Josh Hamilton stealing bases, but I think that he got detained.
Like he actually picked up the base and took it?
Do not believe that's correct, no.
I'm just playing. I'm in football fever right now, man. It's the draft day.
I'm not there for football fever yet. I do
man.
not get excited about the NFL draft. So
see, I'm not a baseball guy. I'm a basketball and football guy, and not in that order.
All right, let me ask you this: what the hell is exciting you about the NFL right now at this time of year? Oh, just all of the spring. You should be at football practice right now, feeling
Right.
You should be not playing games. You should be at practice right now.
Basically.
Right.
But
maybe a spring game.
That's the thing. There's a spring rite of passage for the NFL. It's where they kick off the season at the draft.
Mm.
You know, the commissioner comes out and he says the 2013 draft and the 2013 season opens now. And the first guy that was drafted,
no idea.
An offensive lineman.
Who he was number one?
Where's Eric Fisher. He was
Uh-oh.
drafted by Kansas City Chiefs.
Wait, I did hear them talking about that.
Yeah, he was offensive tackle, excuse me.
Who is the coach
from Central Michigan?
Central Michigan. I've been to Central Michigan.
To the university?
Yep.
Wow.
I have been there. It is nice. Michigan is a nice state as long as it's not winter.
That's pretty cool.
It is a really nice place outside of Detroit. Not to be mean.
Well,
tell me about
the first
this
two
guy.
guys that were drafted. The first two were offensive tackles.
So the first guy was Mark Fisher.
Yeah.
Was second?
No,
guy?
Eric Fisher.
Eric Fisher.
Yeah.
Who's second guy?
It was the one that everybody was talking about from Texas A&M. Jekyll.
Jokel.
Yeah. Luke Jokel.
Luke
Yeah.
Jokel.
Yeah.
From Texas A&M.
Yeah. He
SEC
was
school.
Huge.
The Aggies.
Yeah.
So how do you think Texas A&M's going to fare in the SEC in the upcoming years? Not to get you away from the draft, but just what's your opinion on that? I put them at about a South Carolina status.
No.
More? LSU?
Well, I mean, who?
They're not going to be Alabama status, right? You think
Not
they
sure.
will be? You know who they say is supposed to be good this year in the SEC?
Who?
Vandy.
Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
Really?
They say Vandy's got a good team. That they are going to be nobody's bitch this year.
That's interesting. I like that.
So that only leaves, I mean, then who are the weak teams going to be? It's going to have to be Missouri. They're going to get beat up next year.
Huh.
That's my opinion. Not because they're going to have a bad team. They'll probably end up going to a bowl now that I said that. I just don't, I mean, one of the Mississippi teams maybe get beat up on. Maybe Florida. I mean, they lost their bowl game pretty handedly.
Huh.
To Louisville, right?
They lost their bowl game to Louisville. Florida did.
Right. Charlie Strong, beat
his old whole team, and then he signed a new deal to stay with us.
Right. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Louisville's great. I love going to Louisville games.
What, so after the first two that we had were what'd you say, offensive tackles?
Yeah, the first two.
Then
yeah,
who
the
was
Joko guy was second, and everybody was thinking that he was going to get first draft.
Who's third?
I'm trying to bring it up. I'm trying to bring the list up so I can see. I haven't really looked at the.
I haven't either.
I like to watch the kickoff of the draft and then the first two picks, and then normally I watch the rest of the picks too. But here we are in the woodshed. We had to do this, and so we're gonna check it out and try to go with the flow on who drafted. I'm anxious to see if Elliot actually calls us back.
Do you think he will?
I don't know. He was talking about some crazy party though.
And his views on the CIA was, I don't think so, buddy.
Well, a lot of people have been saying that, but I mean, a lot of that is fueled by this social media storm that's happening. It's an interesting phenomenon because, here's the thing. On Facebook the other night, I saw somebody that I would never think would be a conspiracy theorist type person.
Right.
Posting photos about the Boston Marathon being some kind of hoax. Like, I would never think that this lady...
It obviously wasn't a hoax, but,
Right, but that's what she was saying.
Like, you're saying there was some fuckery involved.
And she didn't say anything about it. She just posted, interesting, was the one-word phrase that she used. Interesting. And I liked that stance because she was still posting photos that she thought were interesting. All right, so here's the picks. Eric Jekyll from Central Michigan was first to Kansas City. Luke Jekyll, Texas A&M, was second.
What? Jekyll brothers?
Jokel. I'm sorry.
Jokel?
Yes, Joeckel.
They're brothers, and
Yeah,
they get
here.
drafted 3 and 4.
Let's pull it up for everyone to see.
In the
quick.
NFL draft.
We lose me and my pretty face.
You can take me out and put
and
your pretty
Elliot's
face
not
there.
on the phone with us anymore either, so I can take that off of there. Whoops. And so let's cut to this and see what happens.
I can't believe that 2 brothers got drafted 3 and
Yeah.
4 in the NFL draft. That's got to be the first time. That's got to be...
Wait, what?
I thought you said there was 2 Jokels.
No.
No?
No, you misunderstood me.
Oh. I thought there was a terrific story going of the 2 brothers that got drafted 3 and 4. Let's go ahead and go with that anyway. That's much more interesting.
Yeah, 2 brothers got drafted in the NFL draft, right?
Did you hear that?
They were 1 and 2.
No.
And they were both offensive tackles. No, what happened?
One was white, one was black.
And I apologize for being hard to understand too, because it was my fault. But first was Eric Fisher to Kansas City. Second was Luke Jokel to Jacksonville. So remember that it's not 2 brothers named Jokel. It's Jokel to Jacksonville.
So what do you got? Something.
And then the third pick,
right,
was an outside linebacker to Miami. They needed a defense.
The Dolphins.
Yeah. Now they traded picks because originally the third pick was from Oakland.
Mm-hmm. So
I guess Miami traded up to get that third pick to pick that outside linebacker from Oregon. Okay, so 4th pick was Philadelphia. Where do you think Philly went?
A running back.
An offensive tackle. 3 offensive linemen in the first 4 picks.
The game's changed.
3 out of 4 ain't bad.
I mean,
when I was playing high school ball, I would dream of being an offensive lineman in the NFL.
Well,
I was a big guy. But not so big anymore.
I mean, just like I thought I was going to play second base for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Exactly.
And then later on, when I realized that wouldn't happen, I thought,
the pipe dreams of your youth.
Maybe I could be a minor league catcher.
Ezekiel Ansah?
I think that's his name.
He was the 5th pick from Brigham Young.
BYU.
To Detroit.
Oh. He's got to be
He's a defensive end.
I was going to say, an end.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say another lineman. Because I don't think there's any star running backs at Brigham Young, is there?
I don't know. I didn't see this. Okay, here's the guy that's name that I was cracking up over earlier.
Right.
I was talking to my lady. This guy's from LSU. He's a defensive end. He was the 6th pick overall. He's Cleveland was who picked him. His name is Berkevius Mingo. Mingo, M-I-N-G-O.
Berkevius?
B-A-R-K-E-V-I-O-U-S. Barkevius. Mingo.
Barkevius.
No, Barkevius.
Barkevius.
Yeah, it's B-A-R-K.
Bark.
E-V-I-O-U-S.
Barkevius. Mango.
Mingo. M-I-N-G-O.
I like it better at Mango. I think he probably goes by
Well, I'll tell you what,
Mango.
he's going to look like a mango wearing a Cleveland helmet. How about that?
You just got to feel bad for anybody that gets drafted by
Right.
Cleveland. It's like a shitty town.
They're going to crush him like a mango when he faces the Steelers defense. How about that? There's some smack talk early for you.
A shitty-
Preseason smack.
A shitty climate. A shitty football team. The fucking Indians.
So who's left? The 7th pick, Arizona. Let's just run through these real quick.
All right.
There's Jonathan Cooper. The 7th pick was Jonathan Cooper for Arizona, offensive guard. Wow, a lot of offensive guys. All right. 8th pick was St. Louis. They picked a wide receiver, Tavon Austin.
Finally, a wide receiver.
Tavon Austin. The 9th pick was the Jets.
He went to the Rams.
Yeah, St. Louis.
Oh, that'll be
Wide
good.
receiver. Picked him up. There was the first wide receiver off the board, too.
Yeah, I might have to keep an eye on him for the draft.
There you go.
Little
sleeper.
sleeper? Yeah.
Late round dollar pick.
Yeah. The draft is over and everybody's just pulling horse shit, and you're like, I'll take
Uh-huh.
for $1. What's his name?
I'll go another $1.
$1? What's his name? Tavon
Austin.
Tavon
wide
Austin.
receiver, St.
Wide
Louis. Now,
receiver, St. Louis.
the 9th pick was the Jets. They picked a cornerback to replace Darrelle Revis from Alabama, D. Milliner.
Well, I'm sure if he plays for Alabama, then that means
Millionaire.
he is coming from a professional football team already.
Yeah,
So it's really you're just getting a trade.
practically. So, and the 10th pick overall was Tennessee.
What did they
Another
pick up?
Alabama player, but this time they got a lineman. Offensive guard, Chance Warmack from Alabama.
They're like, we've got to get somebody to fucking block for Chris Johnson.
Exactly.
Somebody has got to
and
block.
somebody inside because he bounces through the inside like nobody.
Somebody young who's
Right.
not going to wear down, who's going to...
Let's just hope that Tennessee doesn't incur what happened to Pittsburgh last year. They picked up that offensive guard in the first round.
Right,
4 games into the season, something like that.
right.
Blew out his knee.
Yeah.
Ooh. There went the season.
Yeah, but he'll be back this
The
year.
offensive line wasn't the same the rest of the season.
He'll be back this year.
But
Bigger
I'm
and
not
better.
blaming everything on them. There was a lot of things that went wrong. I think Mike Wallace was trying to, I don't know. He did score a couple of touchdowns. Anyway, I'm not going to go there.
Listen to you not wanting to go to the dark place with yourself about your deep love of the Steelers.
It's tragic.
You have to
It's
stop.
that deep.
You have to stop
I
yourself.
have to stop before I go over the edge
You were
and start rapping on players that
You're-
want more money because you see,
Here you
oh,
go.
here we go.
Here you go. Here you go.
The Steelers don't pay you.
Go to the
You
next.
pay
Go
them.
to the next pick.
You give them your blood, sweat, and tears, and you win a championship. Do you understand?
All right, go to the next pick.
Sorry. All right. The 11th pick overall was San Diego.
Here?
I think it did. There was a chill.
The Chargers.
Did you hear my anger?
I did. I felt it. Who'd the Chargers pick up?
The Chargers went with offensive tackle. A lot of linemen.
A lot of linemen.
From Alabama.
For all you kids
three
out
Alabama
there,
guys in
yeah.
a row in the first round. How about that?
Say that again.
The third Alabama guy.
Wow.
DJ Fluker, the offensive tackle. So they picked up 2 linemen and a cornerback in the first round, 3 picks in a row from Alabama.
Well, they are a professional football.
Now, here's one that I did hear about. The 13th pick. Now, they traded this pick, was from the Jets. It was originally Tampa Bay's pick at 13th.
Right.
The Jets traded up for it somehow. I guess later round contingency picks, who knows. The Jets traded up for it for a defensive tackle from Missouri, Sheldon Richardson.
When you said that, you kind of sounded like Daffy Duck for a minute.
Really?
When defensive tackle came out. It cracked me up. Continue on.
Defensive tackle?
Yeah, I don't know. It just came out weird.
It sounded like...
It came out weird in my headset. It sounded like defensive tackle. Like there was an extra something in there. It cracked me up. Maybe
I'm laughing at myself now.
Maybe it's probably because you got so worked up earlier.
I'm emotional.
So what we can say about the draft overall
A lot of linemen, man.
is a lot of linemen.
The first quarterback off the board? Let's see where that went.
Who was the best quarterback?
I thought it was Matt Barkley. He was the first. He was the best quarterback off the board, right?
Where did he play? I can't remember.
The first quarterback off the board was from Florida State. Was E.J. Manuel. And guess who traded for him? Or guess who got for him? That was another pick for St. Louis.
St. Louis?
Well, St. Louis was 16th pick overall. That was their pick. And they traded down. Buffalo traded up for that 16th pick and picked up the first quarterback off the board, E.J. Manuel from Florida State. And he's good.
Now, the quarterback
really good.
for Buffalo currently is not good.
No, he's Harvard educated, though.
Well, he's got that. So he's gonna work afterwards. So you don't have to worry about him.
I'm not Harvard educated.
I'm not.
But I know football.
Touche, sir.
And E.J. Manuel was right before Pittsburgh's pick. Pittsburgh kept their pick at 17th. And they picked up a good one, too. I saw this guy's preview. An outside linebacker, Jarvis Jones from Georgia. Did you see Georgia's defense this year?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I remember hearing the name Jarvis Jones.
Jarvis Jones.
Now, who got him?
Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh.
Outside linebacker. And they got rid of James Harrison this year, or just over the offseason. Guess where James Harrison is signed with, I think it was a 1 or 2 year contract with.
Hang on.
You heard this.
Somebody terrible. Let me think.
In our division, even. He stayed in the division.
Green Bay.
No, that's the NFC
Wait,
North.
the division. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Ravens.
They didn't go to the Super Bowl.
They did not go to the Super Bowl.
And their helmets don't look like tangerines.
They do not look like tangerine. Okay, yeah, you got me. Who is it?
Cincinnati.
I was gonna say the Bengals before all the fucking clues. I swear to God.
Awesome.
My first.
That's perfect.
Somewhere shitty. I was like, oh, it must be.
James Harrison is a Bengal. Can you believe that? The guy that was getting all the fines.
I think
for hitting people as a Steeler.
I think he'll fit in well there.
You know, I have an autographed picture of him that my lady got me a long time ago. Do you remember the incident where he ran out on the field and tackled the guy?
No, can I see a video of it?
There was a player a fan that ran out on the field. Let's see if I can bring that up. I don't know.
I do not remember. It seems like I remember him getting fined, but I wasn't really sure what it was for. If it was, I don't remember a specific incident. But it's
not just James Harrison. This was one of the famous incident where James Harrison tackles a Browns fan that ran out onto the field. Check this out. I'm going to turn the audio. Well, I don't know. Do you want audio?
No, because we don't want the backlash on it. We would have to hear it without our headset. Yeah, so let's not have the audio. I can see him coming off the ball there.
Well, see, this is just a slideshow. I think there's actual footage of it.
Of him just plowing
Sachs Browns fan. Yeah, here we go.
Did the Browns fan take it well? Oh, they're already down.
It's a newscast.
Nope,
I think it shows a replay.
Oh, he's getting the handcuffs. He's standing
here we go.
Nothing, Texas.
See, the Browns fan ran out onto the field, and Harrison grabbed him and slammed him to the ground. And because it was a crazed fan. I have a picture of that where he's picking the guy up and slamming him on the ground. It's autographed by James Harrison.
It's probably the best day of his life.
On the back of it is a certificate of authenticity and the photograph of James Harrison signing it.
A certificate? That's awesome.
Yeah. So just authentic, but it's James Harrison slamming that guy to the ground right there. It's like the guy's up in the air, legs flying, and it's like a nice photograph.
Were they in Cleveland or were they in Pittsburgh?
I don't know. Let's see.
Where would you think they would be?
I think they would be in Cleveland.
Wouldn't you think that?
I would think that, which is what makes it more interesting. Yeah, see, they were certainly in Cleveland.
Yes.
But it was really interesting because, watch, he kind of, once he gets him to the ground here.
Gives him a little something extra?
Yeah, he gives him a little guff.
It looks like he says something.
He's got him down on the ground, and he's holding him down until somebody comes and grabs him. So Harrison's giving him the business.
And he's probably putting his weight on him, too. Just giving him a little something.
Yeah.
Trying to give him a little pain. Let him know that he walked down the field with men.
Smack.
Boom. And he could have thrown him a lot harder. That guy went down like a sack of potatoes. Let me get my handcuffs here. Channel 19 News here.
What is this guy saying?
And boom. Bad decision, ladies and gentlemen. Do not run on the sports field with grown men. They may harm you.
No. And see, that's pretty cool. It's a rare moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to go bad. At very least, you're going to get arrested.
Right.
At the most, you may get power slammed and have a slip disc.
Right. And I think that's pretty cool, you know. But see, now he's going to be a Cincinnati Bengal, and we'll see how he does. You know, hopefully he he gets put in his place by a new running back for the Steelers or something. You know.
Did they pick up a new running back?
I don't know. We just saw the 17th pick overall. Did I tell you? We did it. That linebacker Jarvis Jones from Georgia.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, we can go through these all if you want, but
no,
they're only at the 27th pick.
Oh, they're live right now.
Right, it's happening right now.
That's pretty exciting that
you
we're
didn't know
having.
that? I thought you knew we were having this live right on here.
I
We're
thought
talking about the draft as it's happening. See, and you were in baseball mood.
Well, see, it's true. Well, see, I thought the draft happened earlier, and you were coming over after. That's honestly what I thought.
Well, it was going to be a later night.
So, okay, bring me up. What pick are they on? They're on the 27th?
Yeah, they're on the 27th pick. Let's just run down through these through Pittsburgh. The Bears picked 20th, so we're three
I'm
picks
a Bears
away
fan.
from the Bears.
I'm a Bears.
Right, exactly. That's why I'm telling you.
Okay. I'm a Bears fan. That's what I'm saying.
The Bears.
See,
we could do the Bears. Yeah, we're going to get some Bears fans guests in here. We're going to have a Bears versus Steelers fan.
God, it's such a good game when the Bears play the Steelers.
Oh.
Do they play next year?
Yeah, I had to schedule up a minute ago.
No, don't worry about it. I'm jumping around and asking for different things. You're over there with...
Well, just after Pittsburgh's pick at 17th, Dallas had that pick. San Francisco traded up. Now, you know San Francisco was in the Super Bowl.
Correct.
Guess what they traded up to? What did they lose the Super Bowl with? Pass coverage. Right?
So they got a safety?
Yes, you're right. They got safety. Eric Reed from LSU.
Oh, I bet he's good back there.
No joke.
But he played. How do you get to the quarterback when you're 20 yards from the ball?
Uh-huh. And then that was with the 18th pick that went to San Francisco. They traded up from Dallas. At 19th pick was the New York Giants. They selected an offensive tackle, Justin Pugh.
Another lineman.
From Syracuse. Another offensive tackle. Now, Chicago did the same thing. Guess what? They're next. Chicago picked up an offensive guard. From Oregon.
The University of Oregon?
Yes, Oregon, Kyle Long. And he was the 20th pick overall. Chicago did good, I think. I think a lineman was a good pick for that first round. A lot of linemen are going this year because the draft stock is not too heavy with the big playmakers, and a lot of good lineman stock.
It's incredible the amount of linemen that have been drafted. I mean, because you just think that it's completely opposite of your typical fantasy football draft because one, it's fantasy,
right,
and two, linemen don't score. So it's all running backs.
They call scores, though.
I understand. And linemen do score. But even if they do score, they don't get points on fantasy football. Not in the leagues I play in.
No, they don't.
And they should.
And that's who you really, But the next pick after Chicago was a tight end. To Cincinnati. Tight end from Notre Dame, Tyler Eifert. 21st pick, 21st. Listen to me. 21st pick overall was from Notre Dame, Tyler Eifert, tight end to Cincinnati. Now, in 22nd pick, St. Louis traded for the pick originally, then somehow traded for Washington. It was originally Washington's pick from St. Louis, and then it went to Atlanta. And so Atlanta was the 22nd pick overall with a cornerback. A corner from Washington, Desmond Trufant. I think I've heard that name. This one, I've definitely heard this guy's name, Sharif Floyd. He was one of the Mel Kiper had him ranked as one of the top 5 players on the entire board, a defensive tackle. Guess where he went? 23rd pick overall to the Vikings.
Where did he go to college?
Florida.
Yeah,
and that's why I remember him because he played Louisville in that bowl game.
Did he get work?
He got handled by the front line. Yeah.
And congratulations, you play in Minnesota.
Well, a tackle is all they needed for Adrian Peterson. The guy is a machine.
Oh, that guy is a tackle?
Yeah, he's a excuse me. He's a defensive tackle. Sorry, I was on the wrong side of the ball.
Well, that'll still add to the defense.
Well,
who's up next?
After 24th, it was 24th pick overall, Indianapolis, with a defensive end, Bjorn Werner.
Picked up an end.
Yeah, defensive end from Florida State.
Yeah, they feel good about their offense,
Indianapolis
I guess.
got a better handle on their defense. I bet they draft a lot of defensive players. Anyway, the next pick was traded from Seattle, 25th pick overall. But they traded up. Minnesota traded up to get them, and they picked another defensive player, a corner,
So they
Xavier Rhodes from Florida State.
So they got an end and a corner, both from Florida State?
No, one Sharif Floyd was from Florida.
And one from
Gator.
Florida State.
Yeah, and he's a defensive tackle to Minnesota. And then 2 picks later, Minnesota picked again with a corner from Florida State, Xavier Rhodes.
Building up that defense, baby.
And only two selections left. Let's refresh it and see if any more has happened. And the 2 picks that were left were Green Bay and Texans. And then I don't think anyone else has picked. Oh, wait, Minnesota. Holy crap. Let's go through these real quick. Green Bay was next with their 26th pick overall. They picked a defensive end from UCLA, Dayton Jones.
Building up. Nobody wants any of these running backs, do they?
No.
They don't want to pay first-round money for them, do they?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is.
And the next pick, 27th overall, was Houston. The Texans picked a wide receiver from Clemson, DeAndre Hopkins. Got him another playmaker. So the next pick, 28th, was over. Was it Denver? They picked a defensive tackle, Sylvester Williams from North Carolina.
They feel good about their offense.
Yeah.
So like keep the other team under 20 points. We can probably win the game.
Right. Peyton Manning is a freak.
Right.
One of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game.
Keep us in the game. Maybe get us a turnover or a touchdown here and there.
Did you see Colin Cowherd's ESPN bracket?
Did not.
On he does a bracket every year that's not for March Madness, in celebration of March Madness.
Right.
That's not basketball teams. And last year they had, or a couple years back, they had the best cereal.
Okay.
And then they had the best male actor one year. Different things like that. And this year they had best quarterback of all time.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It was a great one.
Joe Montana win.
Joe Montana did win. Good job.
Yeah,
and guess
Joe
who was
Montana.
second?
Best of all time, Johnny Unitas. No, don't.
Close.
I
think. Let's see. I don't remember exactly who it was. Johnny U was finished in the Final Four though.
Brett Favre.
No, I think he was in the Elite Eight.
Number 2 quarterback
of all time.
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning.
They went ahead and gave it to him.
And so you keep in mind that this was online, and it was the listeners going online and voting. So guys that listen to sports shows, or guys that listen to Colin Cowherd's sports show,
right,
would go on there and vote. And sure enough, Peyton Manning won that thing.
Is that Elliot calling back again?
No, just a message.
Oh. Hopefully it wasn't a hateful message from him.
No, my battery's dying.
Oh, no.
But the 29th pick overall was to Minnesota. They traded from
Vikings
New England.
Again?
Yeah, that's 3 picks.
So they're serious this year.
Back to back.
The Vikings,
to back.
The Vikings are really trying to do. They were like, we got Adrian Peterson and we can't win.
Well, guess
going
what
on?
they picked? They picked 2 defensive people last time, but
right.
They traded up for this one again from New England at 29th. They picked a wide receiver from Tennessee, Cordarrelle Patterson.
So
that kind of rolls off the tongue.
Somebody to take some pressure off of Peterson. Mm-hmm. Another outlet. I'm going to have to remember him, too. He's from Tennessee. I don't remember him.
Cordarrelle Patterson.
Cordarrelle.
Yeah,
call him Corduroy.
The next pick at
Corduroy
30th,
Patterson.
They haven't made the next selection, but St. Louis traded up from Atlanta for the 30th pick overall, and they're going to be picking next. They're on the clock.
So the first round has been dominated by St. Louis and Minnesota. I hear their names a lot.
Yeah, in the first few rounds.
I mean, did the Bears only get 1 pick in the first round? That's all they got. 1 damn pick.
St. Louis did trade up for the 8th pick overall, and they did trade up for
Did the Patriots not get to pick?
the next pick. That's the 30th.
They're like, no.
The Patriots haven't picked yet. They're notorious for giving away their first-round pick.
They're just like, nah, we don't care.
Right.
It's not really worth it to us. We're not going to pay somebody the money just because they're a first-round pick. You got to earn it. We're kind of a hard ass up here. It's cold.
Right.
The winters are brutal. You got to plug in your car. But we make it work. We grow tomatoes and shit in the backyard.
You grow tomatoes?
There's a certain... I was seeing like the people up north.
I grow
Boston,
tomatoes.
man.
I can't lie.
I do grow tomatoes. You know, I haven't gotten on planted yet.
So St. Louis made their pick. It's an inside linebacker.
Another defensive player.
From St. Louis from Georgia, Alec Ogletree. Now, that was the 30th pick, and they traded up for that pick at 30th from Atlanta. Inside linebacker.
There's going to be so many sleepers in next year's fantasy football draft because in the first round there's very few players that are going to be scoring players.
Right,
next
offensive
year.
players.
It's not going to be. It's not going to be too hard.
Yeah.
Very few to remember.
Ball carriers.
Who do we get next? The Cowboys.
Yeah, they're going to be on the clock next. It's they traded up for this pick from San Francisco, and so the next pick at 32nd would be the Super Bowl winners, Baltimore. And so that would be the entire first round. Baltimore will make the final selection of the first round, and then I'll start again with round 2 tomorrow when they reopen.
Any chances that Baltimore repeats Super Bowl?
I don't know. It's a good question. I doubt it. They've lost so many problems. They lost so many players to different teams. Their team's been disbanded. They're going to need a couple of seasons to kind of meld things together. And, you know, this year they played heavy football, you know, and they're usually a playmaking team. They're always in the playoffs, or not always in the playoffs, but they're always contending for the playoffs, you know, especially with their own team, their own conference, division team. The Steelers are always playing.
Yeah, that's true. Who do you think?
The Steelers played them 3 times in one season. Like,
wow. It's very difficult. I've heard it
too.
said many times. It's very difficult to beat somebody 3 times in one season. Very difficult. But how many times did Louisville play Syracuse this year? Did they have to play them 3 times? Or more, right? Because they had to play them twice during the season.
Right.
And then they had to play them in the conference tournament. And then they played them in the Final Four, didn't they?
I'm not sure.
I think Syracuse did make the Final Four. I think it was Boeheim versus Patino in Wichita State, and then...
no, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Louisville played Wichita State.
Well, then Syracuse played Michigan.
That's right. And they got blown out.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
But the game... See, the game where Louisville played Syracuse, I was up at Hooters watching the... the fight. Yeah, the Nick Diaz GSP fight, George St. Pierre.
Right, where he threw the shin to the head knockout. Is that?
No, it wasn't a knockout. They finally just anyway, Nick Diaz ran his mouth and got his ass whipped.
Good.
I don't think it's gonna change anything.
Did I tell you what Chael Sonnen said to did I say his name right?
No, we're getting off on a tangent here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'd like to talk about Chael Sonnen, but hold on a second.
All right, I'm sorry.
We were talking about I went to the Hooters to watch that fight, the Louisville-Syracuse game.
Eating curly fries.
Right. How'd you know?
They're delicious.
I also had a salad, thank you. I'm on a diet here. And
when I add the salad, it's a diet.
Right, it's a diet with the fries. Anyway. The
like
Louisville-Syracuse game was on that night, too, and they came back from a big deficit.
What? Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Louisville was down,
and then
they came back and won the game.
Hancock.
Well, that didn't happen with Michigan, so I'm thinking, man, Michigan is really handling Syracuse. And so when Louisville played Michigan for the final game, the championship game,
right, I
was a little on the edge of my seat for the for the Louisville team there, the home team.
See, I never had any... it never even made me nervous. Not that I'm a huge Louisville fan, but it never made me nervous. I was like, oh, they're going to win this game. I just felt like they were going to win this game. I think the pressure was on Michigan, and I think that they had to make tremendous shots to stay in the game, and eventually they just weren't going to be able to make all those shots. You can't make 35-footers all night.
Right.
I mean, you're going to have to be having a special night, a Michael Jordan type, Isaiah Thomas night, Larry Bird type performance.
Right.
Or who was the guy from Michigan? Ty Lawson.
Yeah, Lawson.
A Ty Lawson type
Uh-huh.
night, to where you're just, your mom tells you you're the best player in the country and you believe it, and you go out there and you do it, like what happened with him.
Look how lucky this is. You were asking about the NFL schedule.
Tell me, what happened?
The Bears play the Steelers.
When? Where's it at? Tell me it's in Chicago.
It's in Pittsburgh.
Gosh dang it.
On Sunday, September 22nd at 8:30 p.m.
September 22nd.
It's a Sunday night game on NBC.
We should go.
To Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
No.
What about?
Absolutely. We do that. We plan it out
Abs-
months and months in advance. Now we have some time to plan that out, but I don't know right now.
To Pittsburgh? Absolutely not.
No. Why would we go to see Pittsburgh play?
Okay, how about
it's not like they're my favorite team.
Okay, how about
It's not
this?
like when I go there, I like to spend a week and hang out with my family and do all kinds of other things
It's true.
because it's a 14-hour drive up into the mountains of West Pennsylvania.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, how about this? We get together, we watch the game.
That sounds like a much better idea.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we should get like DirecTV
Well,
and
give me
get
some
DirecTV
applause.
to sponsor that.
Give me some applause on that. We'll get
Watch
together.
that. Get the DirecTV NFL Sunday ticket with the Max on it, and then we'll.
We're
we won't even need that for the NBC game. Shoot,
We're gonna get together. We're gonna watch the
that
game.
was silly.
Talking about being off on a tangent.
Yeah. Oh, we always go off on tangents, man. I try to keep us on track, but
What pick are we up to?
oh man,
Think it's done?
I don't know. It's going to be done soon, and there's no telling. I bet if I refresh it, we're back to the. Dallas was up on the board.
refresh it.
Oh yeah, Dallas, who traded up from San Francisco because that was the second to last pick of the first round.
I'll be back. I gotta take the leak.
Dallas picked an offensive. No, what is an OC? Does anybody know what an OC is? Huh. Travis Frederick from Wisconsin. Dallas picked that. Great. Now I'm an idiot for not knowing what an OC is. Yeah, I'm the football guy, right? It's an offensive lineman, obviously, but it's he's a big guy. This guy, 6'3", 312 pounds. Holy crap!
Hey, you want another beverage, sir?
No, thank you. I'm good. Welcome back, man. Everybody missed you. Welcome back.
I don't know. Thank you. I don't know what it is about getting older, long in the tooth, if you will, about just how satisfying. What pick are we up to?
I was talking about
The Cowboys?
the Cowboys' next pick, and I was making an idiot of myself because you see an OC instead of a C,
Okay.
and it's just supposed to be a C.
For like offensive center, so that threw
Exactly. See, you picked it up real quick,
Okay.
and guess what I played in high school?
you off. Offensive center?
Yeah, exactly.
But you just called it center.
Right, and it was
Right.
just C,
Right.
you know? But I guess a CB or a C would be, it might imply a corner. Anyway,
Cornerback.
yeah, but the offensive center was Dallas. They picked up a center from Wisconsin, the only center taken in the first round so far.
Out of
Travis Frederick from Wisconsin.
of all the offensive players taken, so many linemen.
Did you hear how big he was?
No, I have no idea.
6'3" and 312 pounds.
His 40 time is probably.
Well, here's the weird thing that I keep thinking.
Tell me.
I mean, obviously I'm a little older and worn out. I wouldn't last 5 minutes with these guys.
I describe myself as worn out.
But I'm 310 pounds and 6'1".
You're still looking sexy.
This
though.
guy's 2 inches taller than me, and he's playing in the NFL.
And
But he's in super tremendous shape compared to me. I mean, let's
ma-
face it, I'm not.
Look, here's what I'm going to say. He may have a little more muscle on him. He may have thicker legs.
I'm not the brick shithouse I used to be.
I'm just saying he may have a little more muscle.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This guy could probably bench press a Mack truck.
Speaking of bench press a Mack truck, not to get off on a tangent, but I heard a story today that Andre the Giant was at a bar drinking, and he was having several drinks, and these college kids came in. And
Baltimore made their final selection.
Who do we get?
Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, well, these college kids came in, they're like Andre the Giant, and then they just keep getting drunker and drunker, and they just and finally one of them throws an empty beer can and hits him in the back of the head. He turns around and says, "Don't do that again." And finally later, one of them throws another beer can and
I knew you were going to say that.
hits him in the back of the head. And as soon as
Tragic.
he does it, he just stands up, and of course, this giant comes running after them, and 4 of them jump in their car, and of course he's slow as hell. But finally he gets there right as they're pulling off, and he grabs the car and flips the car over with them in it. That's the story. Supposedly, Rowdy Piper told that story at the Comedy Store. Flipped the car over.
Wow.
That guy was, I think he was like 7'4", though.
Yeah, Andre the Giant was huge.
What's our next pick?
The final pick?
Final pick of the draft?
Baltimore.
First round?
It was They were Super Bowl winners. So they're always last pick. Whoever wins the Super Bowl is the last pick.
A lot of teams
obviously.
that didn't get a pick at all.
Right.
Some
teams haven't picked yet. The final pick, 32nd pick overall, final pick of the first round for the NFL, was a safety for Baltimore because they got rid of Ed Reed. From Florida, Matt Elam. He's a Florida Gator. I have to laugh at that because I'm glad that Ed Reed is gone.
I bet.
I'm really glad.
I bet you are. And I bet you're glad that they picked a Florida Gator safety that got abused by Louisville.
Even better.
That's just icing on the cake.
Uh-huh. Thanks. Yeah, that's great.
All right. While you have your window up, let's switch gears here real quick.
Okay.
All right, go to YouTube.
Well, that's the end of the draft anyway.
Go to YouTube.
Okay, what are we talking about here?
Leaping Lizard.
Oh, man.
It's quick. This is a YouTube clip. This is pretty good stuff here. Yeah, there you go.
This one here?
Yeah, that's it. Can they see it at home?
Yeah. Wait. No?
Yeah, you better stop it.
Is that a... What? Hold on. Let's,
I'm not sure what kind of snake he's wrangling there, but some type of serpent.
Okay, we're going to switch views to this. Okay, here we go. And we're going to watch this for a second.
Probably close to 5 feet. Texas rat snakes are going to be
Give
one of the
full
largest
screen.
snakes that you find in the Metroplex area.
What happened?
You'll be able to see it now. What? Look at the table down to the left.
Probably close to 5 feet. Texas rat snakes are going to be one of the largest snakes that you find in the Metroplex area.
I think it's a lizard.
It just jumped up and stuck on his coat.
He thinks the snake bites him in the
Probably
nuts. I
close to
think.
5 feet. Texas rat
I mean,
snakes.
That's
are
what it
gonna
looks
be one
like,
of
yeah.
the largest
Yeah.
snakes that you find in the Metroplex area.
And he's still holding on to the tail of the snake like, I can't let it go.
It's like he's getting electrocuted. He loses
Texas rat
control.
snakes are going to be one of the largest snakes that you find in the Metroplex area.
Wow.
The other guy does not even flinch. He said, I think he said, I thought the snake bit me.
How about slow motion?
I mean, who knows why this... It's probably just like a lizard. Like a goanna. A guana.
Here it goes, ready? He's like, oh, look, that nice, shiny... What is that, silk? Is that cashmere?
Is that tweed?
Cotton?
At this
I'm
point,
gonna
this
check
guy,
it out. Let me
the
feel
guy
it.
does not even see it. Never
He
sees
felt it.
He felt it.
And then he looked down.
And he looks down.
He's like, what is on my jacket?
And then, at this point, he is urinating.
He's wetting himself.
He's wetting himself. He's trying to shake it off.
And then, see, look at his right hand. He holds on to the tail.
And his left hand goes into full spasm.
I think his left hand was naturally reaching for the snake so he didn't have to let it go.
He looks like he's Pentecostal, and he's receiving the Spirit. This guy just completely freaks out. Terrific. The other guy is just laughing at him as he's going down. I just thought that was a funny clip. I came across that the other day.
That was really random and definitely a tangent. And I
mean, I've got some more of those.
Like what?
Like best bloopers 2012. And it's news clips. And
all right, we can watch a couple of videos if you want. The best bloopers of 2012. Hilarious water wipeouts?
No.
Best bloopers of 2012? Right here with the Kate Upton?
No, I don't think that's it either. I think you got to go
local news
best
bloopers.
News bloopers. There it is. Down.
Oh, wait, 2012?
There you go.
Okay. It's on Funny Local News channel on YouTube.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
1,400,000
You better put this up
views.
where they can see it, though. I don't think they can see it right now. They're going to be at home wondering what in the hell we're looking at. Thank you, sir.
That's crazy. Oh, it's a commercial. Great.
I was wondering what that was. It fooled me. It's like, I don't remember that at all.
Is this it?
Good Saturday morning. I'm Stephen McLean. Thanks for
Is this the right video?
Different atmosphere
yes.
here in this
yes, this is it.
Now than there was when we got here at 8 o'clock this morning. Now, it's a different crowd that are here now. It's starting to fill up with football fans, but when we got here this morning, it was full of Andy Murray fans, hoping beyond hope that this, his third
They spiced everyone together.
would be third time lucky for him, but it just wasn't to be. And local people here are very disappointed, but also extremely proud of Andy Murray. And they say, remember,
think he's had a few
he didn't
Guinness?
win,
No,
but he made it
not
to
at
the
all.
Final, and he made it to the final this
Wiggling
time
up.
last year, the same the Australian Open final where we
Hand
were all
on the
here
ball.
then, and we'd all had our
Dancing
fingers
up.
crossed
Not-
for a
I'm
different
sober.
outcome
Weird
this
face.
time.
He's obviously totally sober.
Weird face, and I'm back.
We've been told
Hands
not
on
to
the
lose
bar.
heart at all. Some of the greatest
out.
tennis players
Bubbles
of
on
our
the bar.
time, amongst them Andre Agassi, didn't win his
Raisin
first few
upper.
shots at a Grand Slam.
Wow.
It happened for him later in the day.
You can still see the tire tracks here where the cattle rustler pulled up to this entrance.
Is that a chicken?
What's coming up next at 7:40? We are talking with singer Meatloaf about his new album.
What? Talking with the singer, Meatloaf, and the guy puts a graphic of a meatloaf? That sounds like something I would do.
I would laugh at it.
If he gets molested and banged in the ass, maybe, I don't know. Do we have the 5-second delay? Do we have the delay? I'm so sorry.
Okay, you know a cheer?
Yeah.
Okay.
In my britches.
Okay, let's do it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
I got a fear in my britches, yes I did. Yeehaw! I got fear in my britches, yes I did. Really, yes I got fear in my britches, yes I did. Yeehaw!
I was wondering what was in your britches. All this time, it was spirit. Okay, that's what I'll tell my wife next time when she complains. All right, thank you.
Terrible.
After the Mexican.
Did you say Mexican?
Holy crap, this guy's hammered.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm from Hollywood, California, Yerevan.
And why'd you lead cops on this chase?
Because I got swag, I wanted to make it look good.
Swag, I wanted to make it look good.
No, sir.
You take drugs or alcohol?
What is drugs?
What is
You want to be
drugs?
careful driving through that much water. And you know what? You got to thank Dan Elliott for you being there. He's the one that noticed that this morning. So if you get nailed and come back all wet.
Drenched.
Exactly.
Oh,
go ahead. The Russian dog paddle.
Wow.
Vladimir, help me.
definitely can't swim.
Vladimir, help me.
We're going to talk sports.
She got scared by a dog.
Joakim Noah coming up huge in the final 4 minutes of this game.
Yeah.
Offensive rebounding also key for the Bulls. They
That's
had
Joakim
20
Noah.
boards.
I said, I got to get to him before he get to me. I opened this door like this, and I he was back of that door, boys. I pushed that door. He stopped that door, and he came out. He was pushing me. He got away. He got to running. When I got right here, I got him all. And he ran, and he dropped that fence. But I got him with this here. I got him in the neck.
Sorry, I have a bad cold.
Don't place the accent.
It's not catching though.
We're recording right now.
Oh, you're recording. Oh, that's too bad. I didn't realize that was a camera. Sorry about
Any
that.
idea what accent that is?
Come to Chicago, you get a cold.
Chicago?
Oh, no, that's weird. Yeah, it's probably Chicago. See the L?
Look at the forecast for tomorrow. Temperatures will be into the 70s, not 775 degrees. That's a really hot day. Tomorrow, I don't know if we're hitting that 2-degree guarantee.
Yeah, you can see that thin overcast trying to, whoa! Shelly Mills looking good out there at Arcadia Lake.
That's hilarious.
Where's Shelly? What happened to her? Look at her run. You can't run.
And this is why meteorologists don't wear green.
Mixing in with the...
It's the one color that we can't wear. Oh, there we go.
That's a good...
If I were to walk in behind you,
Yeah, with green screen.
what would happen?
We're going to have one of those soon.
No, you gotta walk
he's
in
got to
front.
stand
Is
in
it
front of
front?
her.
I don't know if I'm going to two-step with you. Well, I might.
A little two-step?
No, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. I have to put on... That is exactly the same color. That's crazy. Now we're just two-stepping.
Notamos que las condiciones están fluctuando entre los 80 hasta los 90 grados. Parece que tenemos un problema, me imagino con las luces, pero no se preocupen. Seguimos con el tiempo. Las temperaturas para hoy van a ser aproximadamente de 100.
Olha, aqui no buraco, olha a quantidade de abelhas. Ai, tô sendo ferroada. Isso já aconteceu.
Yeah, it's not much different from what we're doing here.
Pessoas, inclusive, que
we're
passaram
commenting
por
on the
aqui.
videos and talking
Várias
about
pessoas.
them. And
Something
Realmente
stung the hell out of her here.
Tá complicada.
if we mess up,
Já
it's for
ligaram
us
para
to
o Corpo
hear.
de Bombeiros,
It's for everyone to
já
hear.
ligaram para a Secretaria de Meio Ambiente,
Oh,
mas
yeah,
até
that's true.
agora
It's still funny, though.
nada foi feito.
I mean, this chick is... I don't know if something stung her or if...
She reached out and touched that thing and it might have had like fire ants on it or something.
I think that's what it is, because look at her. She's all doubled over.
Yeah, she
like
got bit by something or stung
Oh,
by
now they're
something.
laughing.
Like a wasp or something?
I was doing a report on the bees, and I got stung by the bees, and I don't have my insulin.
My EpiPen.
My EpiPen, not insulin. Now she's back. She's okay now.
Gente, dói demais.
Well, Joe and Sandra, this is the only way Eric and his friends can get across the street from his home because, as you can see, Church Street is a bit overwhelmed
Church
this
Street is
evening.
overwhelmed.
Every time it rains hard, it floods hard.
Did you see
We can't forget first birthdays.
Wow.
Let's pass some greetings along. Happy
Fateh.
first birthday, Ijad Fateh of Johnston. Happy first birthday, Dawn Keybells of Cranston.
La brisa continúa en estos momentos del noroeste entre 7 y 12 millas por hora. En general debe continuar así
going
en
across
las
the
próximas
street
horas horario
in
de la
front of the green
madrugada.
screen. What kind of
Temperaturas
Mexican
actuales en
TV
63
station?
There's a cat running around the
62
studio.
Hialeah,
There's a cat in the
65 Miami. Gran parte de
We
nuestra zona
could have an animal
con
running around
temperaturas
here in the
algo
Blue
frías
Dolphin
a esta hora.
Studios.
Yeah, that's true, but not a
Los
cat.
termómetros
Not a
van a
cat.
continuar descendiendo y al amanecer.
Let's see, we have temperatures in Baltimore, 70 degrees. Stevensville, 64 degrees. Western Maryland, Cumberland, again, 64 degrees.
You get pretty good, Batman. How warm is it going to get today? Any idea?
Temperatures should rise to about 73, maybe 74.
Coming up in weather, more sunshine
Wow.
and
That
warm
guy's voice
temperatures
kinda
tomorrow.
sounded like
Details
Jesse
on that and
Ventura.
some rain
It did.
chances
It was weird
as we
Batman
move to
stuff, too.
midweek. That coming up in your forecast in just a few minutes.
Brian, thank you. As I sit down now, more violence on the streets of Davenport.
I'm chatting too. We'll try to answer your questions.
In the criminal complaint, Brayton commented that he had made a mistake and thought it was best to own up to it. He says he has nobody to blame but himself. And he didn't want to see the sheriff's department's
Can I
name
clean
be
now?
dragged into something that had
Consuela,
nothing
come
to
back
do
later.
with.
Eyewitness News reporter Pooja Lodia is live at Memorial Hermann Hospital where the boy is being treated tonight He has more details. Pooja.
Pooja.
I don't even know what she's saying.
I couldn't be more blessed.
I couldn't be more blessed.
Just a little
Fisticuffs.
fight going on in the background. I apologize for that.
Time for a pie in the face. We'll have a live report next.
Jesus.
Also, the reason why the latest royal visit was extra special for the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge.
Can receive some employment assistance where they'll be getting some resume and
Throwing
application
up
help.
the guns there for everybody to
Production
see.
plant will be shut down in phases.
As for the police, they say they have detained 5 of the Greenpeace activists.
Mega Millions. Here we go.
This is it. I can't see it.
Does this come and then weather comes up?
Can't see it.
363.
Is there commercials after this? 3.
Do you know your numbers? Oh, there they are.
I'm not sure if they set
Is that
this guy
19?
up or not.
19.
No way. 44. Talk to me.
44.
Oh, you got a 34.
44.
You have a 34. You have a 34. All right, I'm freaking out. I'm
I think
freaking
maybe
out.
they did set him
9.
up just by the way the guy on the right that grin.
24.
This is shocking.
Oh my God.
Wait, what just happened? Hold on.
What do you think, Doc?
Wait a minute. What just happened here?
Is that real?
Wait a minute. I can't.
See, I'm not sure.
Did that? Wait a minute. Was that? What? What just
Is it the
happened?
guy's
I have no
birthday?
idea.
It's a lottery ticket.
I can't do this.
No, but are they
right
pulling
now.
a prank on him on his birthday, you think?
What just happened? Have him say them.
What are the numbers? Do you remember them? He doesn't remember them.
You may.
10 seconds. Can you do the weather?
Can you take this pudding back? Wow. This is crap Russian.
This is definitely foreign TV.
Now for an update on the conditions around the Fayetteville area and Springdale, we go to Gary James. He's outside the Channel 29 studios with the latest. Gary?
Gary?
There's no Gary.
It's like our callers sometime. Didn't she
Can we
look
go to
like...
Rogers now?
Who does she look like in that? The girl from Firestarter?
I think now we're going to go to Rogers first. Melissa Moon is outside the studios.
They're going to cut to
in
Melissa
Rogers.
now.
Here now, Melissa joins us with the latest up in Rogers. Melissa?
Duh.
Okay.
And the camera's
And
full.
the camera got
The
just
camera
fell
guy
out.
was sleepy.
She looks like Drew Barrymore. That's who I was trying to think
Yeah.
of.
Let's go now. We'll be back right after this message. Stay with us. Is Chris falling? What's going on?
Yeah, we're just going to ask Miss Singleton why she's still operating since she's accused of many felonies. We don't
Uh-oh.
until they say we can't. I know, I told them. I'll tell you what, we'll do what we want to do. Hey, we don't do what to do. You don't want to ask me nothing. You don't want to ask me nothing, okay?
You don't want to ask me nothing.
Okay.
I'm going to continue to repeat that. Oh, come on now. Come on now. She's got the hypertension.
They ran out of the house because they saw her. They saw her on TV in there. I saw her on TV and I had to go out there and tell her.
You don't want to ask me nothing.
Wow.
You know what else is weird? Do you know how, like, on TV and everything, have you seen anything about Korea lately? And it was such a big story just a week ago.
I mean, exactly. A week ago, there was nuclear war imminent.
Imminent. DEFCON 3. Now
we're looking for kids bombing the marathon.
It's an after story now. I would put it still on the bullseye, on the radar, but nowhere near the center.
What do you mean by that?
I would say that the focus has shifted from it. I mean, is that crazy? Is he crazy? That Kim Jong-un, is he still making the same threats, and or are we just not publicizing it as much now? Or is there just no room for it?
It's the media thing, you know. They're constantly on to the next subject because the the media takes full advantage of normal people's attention span. And let's face it, most people's attention span nowadays is very short.
Unless there's new events, yeah.
Right.
You
I
can't
mean, the
tell
audience of this show is not short of attention.
No.
You know? It's
They're just short in stature. We're big in little communities.
But the news caters to people's attention spans, obviously, because, you know, like we go on tangents all the time, but, you know, they cater to that. They switch to the next thing. What's the next topic? Let's change the subject. Let's change the focus. And, you know, there's a lot of that.
I completely agree with you. I just wonder how much is it that there's nothing new to the story, and how much is it that they have choose to shift the story,
Right.
and even if they can shift the story. I mean, can you imagine without the internet how much more? I mean, how the fuck did you know about anything? I mean, you watch your news and you read your local crappy newspaper.
Yeah. And then, you know what did it for me though is when I was like early years of high school.
Right.
Researching.
Doing a research paper.
Like, all these cool search engines were popping up. Like, that's where Yahoo got its start. That's where... Do you remember InfoSeek?
I do remember
and
InfoSeek.
Lycos?
Yes, I do.
Lycos?
Yes.
Lycos is actually still around.
Is InfoSeek still around?
I doubt it. I'm not sure.
Too. Yeah, I do remember those.
And I think
back when everything was AOL search.
Right.
When
exactly. AOL was one of the big ones.
Yeah, when you're...
do you remember Netscape Navigator?
Netscape.
Was one of the best browsers out.
Do you remember the AOL chat?
Right.
But that's probably the first time
that's
where a lot of people ever chatted. Was in the AOL chat room. Right. I wonder what percentage of people now versus then. Now I'm sure it's not. I'm sure AOL chat room. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
a lot of people don't even have AOL anymore.
I would say
because they were paying for internet service through AOL. That's who their internet service provider was.
Correct.
Over their phone.
Which is not good.
56K, buddy. That was as fast as your phone got.
Yeah, that's not going to do it. You can't run a podcast out of a woodshed on 56K.
Yeah, you can.
You can?
Yeah.
To this quality?
No, definitely not to this quality.
I mean, this
you want to know
quality?
what we're running at right now?
What?
The data rate we're running at right now is 1759, 2294, 1522. It switches anywhere between 1500 and 2000 kilobytes per second.
There's ebbs and flows, but
we're averaging right around 2000 kilobytes per second.
What you're saying is we're whipping ass.
It's a lot faster than the 56 kilobytes per second.
Which is something.
Yeah. Most Wi-Fi systems are data rated 300 megabytes per second. That's huge. That's super fast. That's why, you know, I find it hilarious when people are on their iPads or their iPhones. You know, it's like a Louis C.K. bit too. Have you seen that bit? Like,
I've got to see that.
This phone, this internet, damn. You know, he was talking about a guy on a plane having Wi-Fi.
One thing about Louis C.K. is he's always coming out with new stuff.
Yeah.
Always reinventing himself.
Right.
I mean,
but it bothers me too.
It does bother me.
The same issue, you know. My phone doesn't work.
I can't even get Wi-Fi here.
Right. This Wi-Fi is slow.
I can't even watch
connected?
Can't even watch a video here.
You're connected. Like, you can check your email, and if you give it a minute, give it a fucking minute. If you give it a minute, you can watch a YouTube video on your phone. Just give it a minute.
That's what it is, man.
Sometimes your screen, like, you know how screensavers go off, and they're like, "Oh, my phone turned off." You know, just give it a minute. Let it sit there for a second, and then hit the button and turn it back on, and it'll be back. Then your video will be ready.
We don't have time for that.
Exactly, and it's part of the attention span thing that you know our
Not
human nature is causing.
Airplane flying, limousine driving.
Right.
Ric Flair, 11-time world champion style of life here.
Yeah. There's a lot we could say about it, man. I just, you know, with what happened in Boston, and you know, with what's going on with Korea, I've been trying to keep my mind off of it, you know, and I think a lot of people do that, and it sucks because I don't want to be the guy that just tries to keep his mind off of things like that, because that means I'm like no different than the ostrich with his head in the sand.
Exactly.
You know, and and it sucks because I don't want to be that guy, but at the same time, that's how people want us. I mean, it seems like that's how society wants us to be. Everything around us encourages us to be that way, and it sucks. It stifles any desire to change the world.
It stifles inspiration. It stifles creativity.
Right. Exactly.
It stifles, I mean, especially inspiration.
Right.
Or the greater good.
Like all the bad news that comes out on the news all the time, it's like the foot on the throat of the American people, and not just the American people, but more or less motivated and intelligent people. The people that would say, you know what, now is my time to stand up for what I believe in. But because of tyranny being so powerful, people don't want to stand up for what they believe in anymore. Because of what it's going to cost them.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't.
I've got kids, man.
A lot of people
I can't. What if I lose my job?
They don't know what the hell they believe in anyway.
Right.
And what
about the people that do?
But most people, the majority of people's search is just to be comfortable. It's not like they have a burning desire to change the world. They just want to be. Most people just want to be comfortable. They're like, man, I want to get something to eat. I want to just be comfortable and just find me a little niche, be comfortable, and just in my comfort. I mean, there are a lot of people that have burning desires that are influenced to do a lot, but I mean, some of the majority of people just looking for a dry place to sleep.
Right. Exactly. I want food in my fridge from, when my kids wake up, I want to be able to feed them without having to go too far. And but there's a lot of convenience in the world now that allows that to be. So what happens when, you just want to be comfortable, right? So some people just want to be comfortable, right?
I'm not saying me, but I understand.
Right, and that's why I changed. That's why I rephrased it. But
Gotcha.
People just want to be comfortable, right?
Right.
What happens when they achieve that? And how do they know when they actually achieve that?
When they don't have to do anything. No, man, I'm comfortable. Hey, do you want? No, people like that. Hey, do you want to? No, I'm comfortable.
That's so unmotivated.
They think that is absolutely unmotivated. That is a definition.
It's like lethargic.
Comfortable is unmotivated. To do anything, you have to, or to be good at anything, or to really achieve at anything, you got to suffer a little bit.
Right.
You got to work at it. You got to pay your dues.
You got to pay to play.
If you're comfortable, you're not doing anything.
Right.
Just like.
What's the term for that? If you're, it's not lethargic. It's apathy. It's apathetic. Where you just don't give a shit about anything.
Right. I think that's prevalent.
And I think that probably stems from, just like you said just now. I think that's kind of cool. Is that it stems from, the people's ability to not give a shit comes from their. How did you put it a minute ago?
Because they're comfortable.
No, before that it was.
Their ability to not give a shit.
Right. Their apathy stems from the fact that they're just...
I'll have to go back and look.
What's the word?
See where you're coming from.
There's a word for it. I'm trying to think of the word for it. It's not apathy. It's not lethargic. It's... Their
lukewarmness is what you're talking about? They have no passion.
Right.
They're comfortable. They're lethargic.
It's like the status quo is enough for them,
They have no desire. They have no burning desire to do anything. No inspiration.
There are a lot of people out there that do, though. That do have that inspiration.
There are. Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, the cream will rise to the top, but you just got to understand that as a society, I think that, there's cream, and then there's
the leftover.
There's the leftover.
Exactly, and it's all part of the same bucket.
What do you separate the when you throw rice up in the air, the chaff from the whatever?
What is it?
I don't know. When you see like the people when they're separating rice, it's like the saying like the cream rises to the top with milk. It also works for when you're, I guess it's wheat maybe, and you separate the something from the chaff.
The whey?
No,
the wheat and the chaff. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Now the whey is when you're making cheese.
Yeah, that's when you separate the curds from the whey.
The curds
yeah.
and whey, and you collect the curds and make the mozzarella.
What is
That's
that?
delicious.
What are you saying, man? Is he saying cheese making his wheat? What do you?
That son of a bitch says he doesn't like cheese. Tell him to fuck right off. No, I love cheese. I'm like a huge mouse. I've just been eating cheese all week.
But what we were commenting on was the, you know, people don't give a shit anymore. That's
no,
what
they're total.
And the cream will rise to the top. I think that was the best way to put it. If you're gonna, you know.
Well, I think we can get. That's a whole other podcast about mediocre people.
And maybe we'll
making
talk about that for the next topic. You know, next time.
Speaking of next time, okay, next Wednesday night.
Yeah.
We are gonna have. You know, we may get together again this weekend.
Well, we'll try to. We'll see what we can do.
We'll see what we can do.
But coming up soon for sure, in one of the future shows in the near future, we're going to have the DJ, right? He's a radio show host.
Correct.
He was also a celebrity guest judge not too long ago in a sing-off competition here in town, and he's with the Crescent Hill Radio. And so he's going to come talk to us. It's Cumberland Country is his show, and we'll talk more about that during the podcast.
You know what we should do is we should record some of that and play some of that so everybody, or just tell them where they can watch that, or where they can listen to that on Crescent Hill Radio. Do you know what the call letters is for that?
I don't, and we'll get that. We'll get all that information, and we'll talk about that on the show. And
Cumberland Country is the name of it, though, on
Yeah.
Crescent Hill Radio.
Yeah,
that's really cool that he's going to come by and talk to us.
Yeah,
he's going to have a lot of cool things to say.
CJ Cumberland, and he's going to be on the show.
CJ.
Cumberland Country.
Cumberland Country.
Yeah, and we are, we're in Cumberland Country area here in the good old state of Kentucky.
You know, we'd like to thank everybody who tuned in tonight on Ustream, as well as thanking Ustream.
Thanks for checking out the Woodshed. If you watched us on YouTube, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. And so send us out on Facebook. Share with us. Share with your friends. And, tell them to watch the podcast or check it out. And tell them they're stupid if they don't. And kick them in the balls.
Don't really
do that.
We can't really tell people to
condone violence.
Well, we can't tell them to kick people in the balls anymore.
Yeah, that was a little violent. But go to Ustream and watch us. We'll look for the live shows. We'll Facebook it and tweet it.
Give me some volume on my iPod there.
Yeah, it's at Twitter. Twitter is at @thewoodshed_, and Facebook is the Woodshed Podcast, and then also YouTube, the Woodshed Podcast. And thanks for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. You guys are fucking cool. And
we will catch you next time, bitches, at the Woodshed.
Stay sexy.
We're gonna leave you with a little bit of the Riders on the Storm.
Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Into this house we're born. Into this world we're thrown. Like a dog without a bone and packed around alone. Riders on the storm. There's a killer